In Season 2's second episode, Matt and I introduce one of Burgess Inspection's amazing inspectors, Charlie Brown. Join us in learning a little bit about Charlie and why you want him to be your home inspector. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Between the Cracks podcast. I'm Madden.
And I'm Matt.
And today we're going to be introducing our newest segment, Meet the Inspector.
That's right. Meet the inspector. Charlie Brown, one of our newer inspectors, and quite the fun guy.
Quite the personality.
Yes. Fun to talk to.
Fun to be around for sure. I remember the first time I met him, I was new here, and he was sitting in the front, and I had no idea who he was. And I walked up to the front, and I was sitting there for a couple minutes, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm Charlie Brown," and I was like, "Cool." I had no idea why he was there or who he was. There was no, "I'm an inspector." I was just like, there is a man sitting up front, and I'm not sure why. And it took me a long time to figure out who that man was.
Yes. So if you ever actually want to get an inspection done by someone from Peanuts,
he's your guy.
Give us a call.
Yeah, no, his Christmas tree was Peanuts themed. He embodies Charlie Brown.
That's right. So let's go meet Charlie.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Between the Cracks podcast. Today, we're trying out a new segment called Meet the Inspector, where you guys get to come behind the scenes and learn a little bit more about the inspectors we have here at Burgess Inspections. I'm Madden.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Charlie.
And he's the one we're going to be interviewing today. It's very exciting.
So, Charles, my first question, we always call you Charles, and you just introduce yourself as Charlie. Which is it?
I can go either way. My last name is Brown, so usually I don't get a choice.
So most people call you Charlie?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
It was funny because you got introduced to me as Charles, and so I was like, he's Charles. And then I go, I heard from other inspectors, so you're like, "Oh, Charlie Brown." And they're like, "What?" And Scooter doesn't believe you like to go by Charlie Brown. And so he always corrects us, which is funny when we do call you Charlie.
Oh, everybody's trying to be super polite about it. It's great.
Yes. Nobody wants to be offensive. You've heard it all your life. You're But I thought was funny was one of the first times I saw him go for a home inspection, he was wearing this orange shirt. And I'm like, man, that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And his Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
That's right.
Had Snoopy sitting next to it. It was perfect. It was really easy when we played Guess the Christmas Tree game.
So, Charles, how about you tell us a little bit about your background?
As far as my work background, I started off in the military when I was a young lad, and then shortly after that, when I got out, kind of bounced around a little bit, doing different things, working security in Memphis, and went into the National Guard, did air traffic control there. Stayed within the security field for a little bit and then moved on to other things. So when I got back to Virginia, I had my master's degree, and then I was trying to pursue stuff in law enforcement from there, but that didn't really pan out. So then I decided to kind of shift gears and started doing work here in Richmond. I was working with a moving company, and they also did file work as far as moving files and digitizing paper files and things like that. And then I had the opportunity to start a company with somebody, so we started a contractor business. And that went on for a few years. I stayed with them for a little bit and got out of that. But that kind of led me into home inspection, because from there I was doing insurance inspections and such on behalf of the client for getting roofs approved and things like that. And then I kind of fell into home inspection when I left that field.
Okay. And you're from Virginia originally, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I grew up almost my whole life in Virginia, so.
Okay, all right. And here's an interesting thing that I know about Charles, because he mentions it quite often, is he
all the time
is a lover of Asian cuisine.
All of it. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite?
I would say right now Korean's my favorite. There's a lot of really good Chinese, Japanese dishes out there. Thai, pretty Vietnamese. Oh, I love pho. If I can get a hold of that, I will. And it's so great because in Broad Street, there's a lot of different restaurants for pho. Once you hit that area by, was it Horseshoe or Horse Pen? There's like 4 or 5 different restaurants right there. So
Okay. What's your favorite restaurant?
I would have to say Pho Tien Phat 2 over by the area has got David's Bridal. And there's the Asian grocery store, the large one there. Can't remember the new Grand Market. That's the name of it. It's like right next to that.
Did you call it pho? I'm sorry, pho too.
Yeah, Pho Tien Phat, I think. Yeah,
And it's
don't quote me on that or cancel me. It's like I said, it's right there next to the new Grand Market. So, right, if I want to get any kind of food to cook for myself that's a little more exotic than what I can find in Ashland, then that's where I go. So.
nice. All right. What would you like to learn about it?
Well, I already know a little bit about your hobbies, but please elaborate more on what you do after work.
So I like to paint miniatures. Don't really have any groups to play tabletop games with at the moment, but I still have a lot of unpainted miniatures that I like to sit down and spend a few hours doing that, or any kind of like art projects that I got at the home. And I'm constantly doing like home improvement stuff in my dad's house and garage because the house is built in the 60s, so there's lots of work that still needs to be done on it. We're just kind of modernizing some things there and finishing up the garage and doing stuff like that. Or otherwise, I'll just unwind watching horror movies and playing video games or something to that effect.
Okay, nice. So back to work, because we gotta get there, right?
I guess.
Like, I think I'm telling you, people, if you get a chance to book an inspection with Charles, I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. Very personal person. But tell us what you like about doing home inspections.
Every house is a new little adventure. So when I go in there, I've never been there before, and I'll just find all these nice little things that just kind of pop out to me that may not pop out to other people who don't do home inspections. So it's kind of fun to, guide them along the process and show them things about the home. I try and read up on historical homes and things like that, especially for Richmond. So, because sometimes little things like that go unnoticed. It's not a defect, but it's just interesting.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to point that out. And it makes the experience a little more memorable for clients and whatnot. And I noticed that with my mentors, they do a lot of that too. So, like especially Mike, I'm going to give a little shout out.
It's Mike Zalke.
Mm-hmm.
Or Zoohickey, as some clients call him.
I prefer Zulhickey. So.
Well, and then caller ID calls him Zolka.
Right.
Zolka.
Right. But he's extremely knowledgeable, and he's been showing me a lot. And he's got a lot of historical knowledge about homes and things with that. So.
All right. Have you come across any interesting or crazy things out in the field yet?
I wouldn't say anything really crazy. At least not yet. Although I'm sure there's some out there. Probably the one thing I see the most, though, especially when I get further out and away from Richmond, is a lot of these traps being used that are not quite P-traps, or the corrugated ones that are, or the accordion pipes, and they're only meant for temporary use, but they've been in there for like 20 years. That's not self-scouring. That doesn't block sewer gases. This is terrible. But
right.
That's probably the most common thing that I find under the sink is that.
Okay. All right.
So you also do a bunch of our ancillaries, and you're recently Radon certified. How was the process of getting Radon certified?
It could be easier. I'm looking at you, State of Virginia representative. It could be easier. There's a lot of great knowledge, but it comes along with radon and learning about some of the things that are specific to radon and the health risk and such. And for me, for the most part, though, it's kind of easy to do and kind of not. Like the knowledge part, you got to get that down and take the test and everything. But going out in the field and actually executing what you need to do for the radon test is, pretty simplified at this point. And I think it's a pretty good service that people should take advantage of. And, if you haven't had your home tested, check it out. There's our company. We do that. And I think our tests are about 2 days long.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
the short ones anyways.
Yeah, short test, not too much of an inconvenience. Help you get a good reading. And let you know, like we can guide you from there with recommendations on what to do if your readings are kind of high or what have you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you like talking about ancillaries, so I figured we should.
We throw in
I also do sewer scopes.
Yes,
They're
and
gross, but they're worth it for the homeowner.
and mold screening. You just do it all.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Charles just did a sewer scope in Richmond. People don't say it's here, but he found this stuff called Orangeburg. And it's not the first time we found it in Richmond, by the way, but Orangeburg is like this paper pipe, basically. It's paper wrapped in tar.
Yeah, like bitumen paper.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. And it was used well over 50 years ago. And of course, water destroys it, right? Anything else can destroy it. It's just not good stuff. It is like the worst stuff ever made for pipes.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we see that, I mean, that's an automatic. You got to replace it.
Yeah, and that was the
other
first
day.
time that I've seen that on video, like doing it myself, and because I hadn't come across it before. Usually it's just cast iron, clay, concrete, PVC, ABS. Yeah, so I learned about it. Hadn't seen it since I learned it, and I was like, wait, is this concrete? No. And they're like, dude, this is a good find. This is Orangeburg.
Very nice.
I would have no idea what that was, so that's very, very interesting.
I'll tell you one more reason, especially if you're in downtown Richmond and areas like that where in the older houses, it is so super important to have that stuff checked out. And we have great guys that can do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, is there anything you'd like to tell us about yourself that we haven't asked? See, I knew we'd get to a hard-hitting question eventually.
I mean, I'm pretty simple. I do this because I like helping people, and it's basically why we got into contracting to begin with, and then why I moved over to home inspection services, because it's a good service. You feel good at the end of the day. You help somebody out, help them make with your recommendations, a pretty good decision on what to do next, and a lot of times people got questions after the fact, and usually we'll take those calls, and it's not a huge deal on us, even after hours, to just be like, yeah, I've spent a few minutes with a client on the phone just to kind of reassure them, or let them know what the deal is and stuff like that, or expand on anything that they didn't understand on the report. So
yeah, that's one of the things that I personally like about you. One of the things that has always been important to this company is the customer service end, not just getting a paycheck, but actually wanting to help people, having something important to do. So we do appreciate what you do here, and we hope you stick around.
Yep.
So we'll do our best to make you happy. But so we've covered what? Food, we've covered hobbies, we've covered work.
Work, yeah, absolutely.
Well, let me ask you, thank you for your service, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go anywhere interesting that you're allowed to talk about?
Afghanistan was pretty nice. A lot of sand. Iraq, pretty cool too.
Get your
palm
bucket
trees
and shovel
there.
out there.
Yeah, a little bucket and shovel, making little sand castles and whatnot. And I mean, my time overseas was pretty awesome for me personally.
Yeah.
It was, I know everybody's had largely different experiences, and I was in the infantry at the time, so very different experience than most. I was there with a good group of guys, and then I went to the 1st Armored Division. So I started off 82nd, then went 1st Armored Division, linked up with those guys down in Iraq. Pretty good group of guys there too, and it's like the whole nother world, whole different experiences, things I wouldn't trade for anything. So,
Have you ever done any skydiving outside of paratrooping?
They're not paying me to do that, so no.
I'm with you on that one. All right. Well, Charles, thank you for coming in today, and hopefully everybody got to learn a bit more about one of our inspectors. And like I said, Charles Brown, just call up, email us, ask for Charles. We'd be glad to send him out to your house and get you set up.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He's fabulous to work with, guys.
Yep, this is Charlie Brown and the Peanut Gang, and we're signing off.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed learning and meeting Charlie Brown. He is super fun and super thorough and a fabulous guy to have do your home inspection.
Absolutely. So if you want to have Charlie do your home inspection, you can schedule that online at burgessinspects.com. You can call us here at the office, or you can give us an email at info@burgessinspects.com.
Absolutely. We'd be happy to get that scheduled for you.
So, Madden, I have a few questions for you
This is
about
scary.
home inspections.
Okay.
All right. Number one question.
The number one inspector, though, that's hard. I don't know if I should be giving that answer on mic. I'll tell you later.
So you just said Mike is the number one inspector? Oh, you meant microphone. All right. There we go. All right. Maybe a Freudian slip right there. All right. First question. Any home inspector can do a new construction inspection.
False.
That is false. If you are getting a new home and you need it inspected, and I highly recommend that you do get it inspected, make sure that home inspector has the new construction designation on their home inspection license. They are required to have that. Now, many inspectors out there do, but not all of them. So
Nope.
Make sure you know who is doing your inspection. On top of that, Madden, there are 3 types of new construction inspections.
Oh, that's such a tricky one. I schedule these all the time. Well, we're going to start with that pre-drywall, which is before they put up the insulation under the drywall, so you can see any of the defects laying in the framing or the pipes, wires, all that stuff before it gets covered. Then we move on to the pre-closing, which is going to be basically when it's fully finished. It's just right before they move in. You want to make sure that everything is ready for them to move in. And then finally, at about that 11-month, 1 year mark, the warranty inspection, just so that the people living in that house can have a list to give to the builder before their warranty expires.
All right. And does Burgess have a package?
Burgess does have a package. If you do all 3, you get 25% off that warranty inspection. If you do either the pre-drywall in the warranty or the pre-closing in the warranty, you get a 15% discount off the warranty inspection.
So save that money and have the best company do your inspection for you.
Absolutely.
So, Madden, are there historic homes in Richmond?
I do believe there are, yes.
And is there any special training required for a home inspector to do those types of homes?
Required? No. It is recommended for sure that there's training given to them.
Absolutely. And if you are buying a historic home in Richmond, you want to make sure that the person doing that inspection knows historic homes. Because there is a difference, and you don't want them looking at a historic home and inspecting it the same way they would a brand new home. Here at Burgess, we do offer many courses and trainings above and beyond the state minimums to ensure that our inspectors,
Yep.
excuse me, hopefully we don't have any women right now, but I hope we get one. But at this time, we do make sure that they go above and beyond on their training.
Absolutely. We want them to be able to inspect any home they get sent to.
That's right. So finally...
Oh, I'm doing so well. Give me the last one.
Burgess Inspections offers a walk and talk. What exactly is a walk and talk?
I don't know how much of a question that was because we do offer it. That would be, they do offer a walk and talk.
Did I say do we offer?
You did. You were like Burgess Inspections offers, and it was kind of like you phrased it as a question.
No, the question was, what is a walk and talk?
I understand that was the question, but the first part, it seemed like you were going to end it with a question.
All right, gotcha.
Anyways, it was like a true false. I was sitting there like, okay. So a walk and talk is a general overview of the condition of the house. It's very quick. It's typically about 30 minutes to an hour max. And it's just going to walk through and check those really big ticket items in a house, like the roof, the HVAC system, things that you want to know about when you can't exactly have a full inspection for either reasons of waiving an inspection or any other reason. that one might not have an inspection done at first, they walk and talk is a great alternative.
And I might have missed this, but when do they need to make sure that's scheduled for?
For the showing of the properties, typically when we see the most walk and talks booked.
All right. And what time? And when do you expect to get that report afterwards?
Unfortunately, there is no report with the walk and talk. It is priced at a lower price point. And it is a little bit quicker, but we do encourage the clients to take notes when the inspector does give their full summary, especially concentrated on those areas of concern.
Yep. Just a quick check, when you're able have to, like you said, waive that home inspection. But at the same time, if you get the walk and talk, and then when you move in, if you want a full inspection done, just for your own due diligence, we also do the move-in inspection, and we do offer a discount on the move inspection for doing the walk and talk.
Absolutely. It's such a great service that we do offer, because when it's really competitive, people do have to waive inspections, which is never recommended, but we understand. And at least having an idea of what you're getting yourself into for the house is really important.
That's
before
right.
you buy it.
Absolutely. And we have plenty of great inspectors, as you saw one today. Plenty of great inspectors here that are willing to take care of you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today, and we hope to see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Between the Cracks podcast.